Hello, I'm Tracey Fowler, and I recently took the Spotlight Initiative and Social Good Club Culture Change Commitment to end violence against women and girls. Today, I'm speaking about gender-based violence in the Caribbean and how we can end violence against women and girls with Dr. Carleen Radix, head of the Human and Social Division at the OECS, Kevin Liverpool, third chair, Civil Society Regional Reference Group, Caribbean Regional Spotlight Initiative, and administrator for the Caribbean Male Action Network, CARIMAN, and Bernice Antoine, youth advocate, Trinidad and Tobago Youth Ambassador, who is also a member of the advisory group for the Spotlight UNICEF UE study on CMEU.
My name is Carleen Radix. I'm a medical doctor by training. I am Grenadian by upbringing and a Trinidadian by birth. And I am currently I'm the head of the Human and Social Division of the OECS Commission. We cover education, health, and social protection.
I'm Kevin Liverpool. I am from Trinidad and Tobago as well, calling in from Montserrat, where I've been working for the past few weeks. I work in this field of gender equality, promoting gender equality by working with men and boys. I am a director of the Coalition Against Domestic Violence in Trinidad and Tobago. I am also the administrator of the Caribbean Male Action Network, which is a regional organization with presence in 9 Caribbean countries now.
My name is Bernice Einstein. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm the female co-chair for the Youth Advisory Group of the United Nations Population Fund. So basically what we do there is we give recommendations based on like the HIV policy, the HIV/AIDS policy. We give the youth recommendation on government policies, as well as we help promote the importance of sex education in schools and for young adults to know about their bodies. So that's my responsibility.
So let's get right to the conversation today. Do you think there's enough awareness around the early signs of abusive behavior?
So my immediate answer would definitely have to be no. I think a big portion of that, and why we are not aware of the early signs is sometimes we tend to romanticize it. So like an early sign, for example, would be like, oh, he always want to text me, he want to be next to me, and he's telling me to reply quickly. And we think that's so cute, not knowing that that is actually an early sign of violence.
Children begin to understand that it is possible for someone who say that they love you to inflict physical pain on you, and I'm speaking about how we use corporal punishment within the Caribbean, and there are some parents who would say to their children, I'm beating you because I love you, so from very early on, we have all of these mixed messages about, what is appropriate within relationships. And I think that blurs a lot of the lines later on when it comes to identifying these warning signs.
What are your thoughts around the gender stereotypes that help to perpetuate violence against women and girls?
In our societies, masculinity is valued more than femininity. When we think of boys and when we think of our own boyhood and growing up, when we wanted to shame another boy, we would say things such as, you are running like a girl, you are playing like a girl, you are behaving like a girl.
It's also what we put on boys and men, because we don't give them the permission and the outlet to express their emotions, to express their issues. They need to be manly, they're expected to respond in a certain way. And so when they respond with violence, which is often rewarded even between boys as they're growing up, right? If you need to handle it with violence. So we also perpetuate that with our boys. And then when they get to a situation in which they are unable to, deal with their own emotions around what is happening, then violence becomes the answer.
One of the burning issues that comes up is carnival in the Caribbean, crop over specifically in Barbados. One school of thought is it perpetuates violence against women and girls or negative gender stereotypes.
I think first we must recognize that, Carnival in itself is a celebration of our resilience as Caribbean persons. But I do agree with the statement that some of the behaviors that we see in Carnival, specifically like sexual assault, do perpetuate violence against women. And a particular issue that I'm particularly passionate about that I want to draw attention to is the blatant disrespect of women in our lyrics. And that, men, women, children regularly party to. Like, these tunes are just playing in and out of their heads. Tunes like Somebody Could Touch Your Gap here. Like, if we were to sit down and really analyze these lyrics, would we really be singing them? And so I definitely think it's normalizing that, pulling a girl and touching a girl like this and like that is, definitely contributing to the issue of violence against women. And another thought I would like to bring to that is the whole idea of victim blaming and, look how she dressed, she look for that.
Yeah.
That, especially, we see that a lot during Carnival time. So definitely, I think those are two issues or two behaviors that we see, especially during Carnival time, that perpetuate, violence against women.
What happens at Carnival is that it's a reflection of our own society and behaviors that come to life.
Yeah.
So I don't want to blame the celebration or blame the carnival, but it becomes a space where certain things become amplified, and we've made it okay for those behaviors to be amplified. And I'm a health professional, so of course the role of alcohol is also a contributor in terms of judgment and other issues at the time of carnival that can contribute to poor judgment.
What actions can people take in their own lives to create a safer society for women and girls?
We believe that men must be part of the solution to violence against women and girls. So any change must first start with that inner change, with inner work and with healing. It requires men, therefore, to be vulnerable. We also ask men to listen to the voices of women. Listen so that we can understand how misogyny and sexism affects the women in our lives, because sometimes men do things and they're not thinking about the consequences. We have a responsibility if there are men or boys around us who are using hurtful language or speech, we have a responsibility to call them out, call other men out, but also call them in to have a broader conversation.
I would definitely encourage persons to analyze how every single thing that they do, every action that they take, and their language as well, how does that intersect with gender? Is it helping perpetuate norms that are toxic to women and men? Or is it, aiding in our fight to reduce violence against women and girls? This whole concept of a gender lens and understanding how every single decision that you make is impacted by gender. And when I learned that concept, that blew my mind, because simple instances where I didn't even think that I wouldn't even be impacted by gender, it caused me to be intersectional. Now I analyze my decision, like when I, in my community meetings, how do I speak? Like, what kind of language do I use? If I was to, thinking about the time that I hold my meetings as well is impacted by gender.
Everyone just needs to be more aware, a little bit more intentional, a bit more aware of their own perceptions, what is going on around them, and be intentional in intervening where they can in situations in which it's appropriate to intervene.
Thank you so much for chatting with me today. This was a great conversation. And of course, we all agree that we all have a ways to go where this is concerned. To find out more about the culture change commitment and what you can do in your own life and industry to end violence against women and girls, go to spotlightinitiative.org/get involved.